Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to the last episode before the draft of the Ballin and Burgundy podcast. Yeah, I got myself, I got Andrew over here, I got Chris over here, and then we got the fellas down below. We got Mr. Fly Guy himself, Reedie, and we got the CEO of Great Clothing Line, Z on the side. One together, they are the Reedie and Z podcast, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and on X. Fellas, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? How y'all
What's up,
doing?
man? What's up? How y'all been?
We've been going through a lot of smoke screens going in the draft.
Man, what? It's been crazy as we get closer, right?
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. When you guys see this episode, we will be 2 days out, 48 hours away from the draft. And if you follow us on Instagram, on X, and on TikTok, you guys know we're going live April 25th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Andrew's East, on his West Coast side. First round like we did last year. We can't wait. Before we get into any of the talk, whether it's our 32-team mock draft, news about any commanders, and kind of our thoughts going into it, I need y'all to do a few things for me personally. I need y'all to hit like and subscribe here on BIB. Hit the notification bell so every time that we upload Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Links down in the description, and on X at BIB Podcast 22, because some bitch took our name, and I still can't get over it, right? And then on their side for Reedie and for Z, all their links down in the description: YouTube, Instagram, X/Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Reedie and Z. On Instagram at the Fly Guy Reedie, and on Instagram I think it's at Z Jamal, if I'm not mistaken.
DZ Jamal.
DZ Jamal, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And then I mentioned the Great Clothing Line. If y'all want to get some quality hoodies, tracksuits, hats, and myself, I might need to invest in the win, loss, or draw hoodie. Go over down in the description. Check out Z's clothing line. I might have to buy one once I get a little bit of cheddar, because I'm broke as a son, bitch. Broke as a son.
We are.
We all broke together. I got less money than the Bears got draft picks. That's another story for another day. But let's get into it.
They got two that I wish we had.
That's true. That's true. They got 2 in the top 10. Let's get into it. Coming off of last night, the nightcap with Shannon Sharp and with Ojo Single. First of all, I just love me some nightcap clips. Whether them two together couldn't get any better. But they had Jayden Daniels on it recently, and he was saying how, we got some dogs over here with Terry, with Jahan, and then Drake Maye on another podcast. I need to get the name of it. My apologies to the host. And he was saying when they met at Top Golf that he was a great swinger. They all had one-on-one times with the coaches. JJ can get some golf swings in, obviously being a hardball, prodigy. I would hope so. You can throw the ball long. Can you, hit your tee right? And then the JJ betting odds going up once again. So now all hell is breaking loose in Commanders land at 48 hours out. I'm going to start with Z, and then Reedie, I'll hit you next. What are your thoughts going into this draft with the amount of smoke screens I have not seen since maybe the 19 draft?
Yeah, for sure. I think, to be honest, they just need something to talk about. I'm not really been feeding too much into it. I'm not gonna lie, they had me a little bit earlier. I was talking to Reedie, just trying to, see what he's been thinking about it, and what he has been chimed in and listening to what's been going on. But overall, I think it's just BS. They always got to stir the pot. Come out and just say some stuff. But I think that Jayden to us is a lock. I think any other move would be uncivilized unless we plan to trade back. If we just gonna, move back and get some more capital and add that way, then it would make sense. But if not, if you stand put, it has to be Jayden.
Yeah. Reedie, what are your thoughts going in?
So I just want to say thank you for inviting me to the program, because I've been on my exile from football for the last 3 weeks. I was telling you, I was too anxious and too much worrying about this draft. I kind of had to take a break from it, take a step back. So that's what I did. I kind of like I told you guys before, I kind of got back in it this week and glanced a little bit at little things. But I did catch the Ocho and Unc podcast today, and like you said, he did say we got some dogs. So that gave me some confidence that we could put those rumors to bed that he doesn't want to be in the building out in Ashburn. I don't think we had Ashburn syndrome anymore. I think with this new regime, and everything that they've done in the offseason, we can put that in our rearview mirror and just move forward. And then surround him with my pick, me and Z, we've been vocal about this for the past few months that, we want Jayden Daniels in our building. And if it's Jayden Daniels, then, it has to be a hell of a sell to move back, to get some more draft picks and some draft capital for us to let go of that number 2 spot. But that's who I'm all in on, Jayden Daniels. Drake Maye, under further investigation, I think he played a little bit better than I gave him credit for the last time we spoke about him. But I don't want him as my QB1 going into this season. I just feel as, with everything that's in this league at this time, those off script plays that he can make with his feet is just gives us a better chance to win. The offensive line is unknown. Hopefully we've addressed it with 2 free agent signings, but hopefully we can address that more in the draft as well.
Yeah, for sure. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot going on. Talking about smoke screens, we have been one to smell the smoke coming out of this draft, and we have been cautious but enjoying the content we've been putting out. For everyone who follows us, whether it's on any of these social medias or if you see us on other people's show, which might happen in the future, we've been excited. But Andrew, you haven't been on in a minute. What are your thoughts going into this?
I haven't been on him, and I'm glad to be back. Yeah, I mean these smoke screens, man, they're causing debate, they're causing conflict amongst us fans. We don't know what's coming, and I'm kind of liking it. It's making me a little bit nervous. But yeah, I mean, like Reedie, what you said, I feel like most Commanders fans here are for Jayden. And that is also a lock for me as well. However, I don't hate the idea of trading back. I feel like if we get a really good deal, if we get a ton of picks, obviously it depends on how far, but I think we'll still need to take a quarterback with our first pick and not trade back to 11 to 13 and take a tackle. I'm not for that. We'd have to take Penix there. Yeah, I mean, it's just so complicated because we really have no idea what Adam Peters is thinking, what he's cooking up in his head. So, we're a couple of days away. We'll get to see, but ultimately I trust what he's going to do. And whoever he ends up drafting, I will 100% rally behind him, and I'll trust it. So we'll see.
Yeah, the only way for me, I think it makes sense, like you said, and I'll second what you said about, if we get a big haul, multiple first round picks, maybe a first and a second this year, and maybe a first next year, so on and so on, that it makes sense for us to move back. But like I was telling Z earlier, like, he raised a question to me, what if Jayden doesn't want to come into play here? My thing was, okay, well, fuck him. Let's just get whoever we can get. We could just bring somebody else in. I was saying Penix, bring Penix in. I think it's a good idea to maybe bring him in and surround him with a whole bunch of dogs. There's top tier talent in the first part of the draft.
Yeah.
So if we're going to make a move like that, and the rumors are true that Jayden Daniels doesn't want to play here or whatever they're saying, that they're getting cooked up in the media world, then that could be an option.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even I would say, like, moving back wise, I wouldn't want to go back further than like 9. Yeah, I think after 9 it gets a little tricky. Because I definitely see 4 quarterbacks definitely going between, Williams, Jayden, Maye. You still got Penix in the mix, and JJ for sure. So, I mean, the 4 guys, they'll be gone. So by 9, like you said, it'll be in that Penix range.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can definitely, with a trade back, if you can snag 2 firsts or something like that, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can get creative. I think the Vikings, they have 2 first-round picks.
They have 2 first-round picks, 11 and 23.
Yeah, 11 and 23. So 11 would be maybe a little too far back for my liking, but you can always move back up because we have that extra capital in the second and the third. So you can get real creative, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. When Reedie was talking, but we was talking about his son, jumping back onto the Ravens from the Vikings, and Reedie like, well, what if we get JJ? And I'm like, that don't trades like that don't usually happen for us. But like if they was to do something crazy, oh hell yeah. You got to make it worth it. If you're going to trade back, it better be worth it.
It better be worth it. Yeah, I think if Minnesota came into us with 11, 23, a first next year, a second next year, and like a second in 26, I'd be like, that's tempting right there. Because they don't have a pick. They go 11, 23, and they don't got a pick till 104. They don't got a second or a third, and it's like a beginning first 20 like round 4 prediction. So I got to be like, I need extra capital. Or we've been saying in the BIV group chat, me, Andrew, Justin, and Chris, and shout out Justin, is get 11, 23, and Christian Darrisaw, their young left tackle out of Virginia Tech, who I wanted in the 2021 NFL draft over Jamin, raw product Davis. All right. More raw than people like their steaks, right? He needed seasoning on that linebacking unit.
Yeah,
I wanted Darrisaw because he would have guaranteed our left tackle position for right now. Because we got Wiley at the right and we got Cornelius Lucas at the left. I do not feel safe behind those two.
Not at all.
You got to chill on Jamin now. That's my guy now. We got Ken Norton in the building, and Bobby Wagner. I think they're gonna get them together.
We do.
Better.
And I think if they. My thing is, if you were to put on 20 more pounds, move him to the edge rushing position, because he's got the height for it.
I've been saying that for the last year.
Yeah.
Why is Jamin Davis not rushing the passer?
Rushing the passer.
That's where he's best at. When he's going forward, not trying to. He can't cover anyone. So why are you even trying to let him be a cover linebacker?
Yep.
He's terrible at covering.
He is.
So just let him use his speed and go after the quarterback. So I'm hoping that's what they're going to do.
I think they definitely. Yeah, I'm about to say. I think they definitely gonna mix it up, and with Joe Witt, and Dan Quinn being real creative in how they use guys. You know what I mean, kind of off schedule and mix things up, and be things that you're not gonna expect. I think our defense should be pretty nice, and that linebacker room gonna get real creative. I mean, especially if we can lure what's his name? Peyton? Is it Peyton Willis? Not Peyton.
Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson. If we can pull somebody like that too to add to that mix, that'd be crazy.
Man, I don't think you could go wrong with the first 3 linebackers: Peyton Wilson, Edgerrin Cooper, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah,
and even Junior Colson to a degree out of Michigan. I don't think you could go wrong.
All of them are dogs.
All of them are units. I think for me, because we signed Jeremy Chinn, who Carolina had playing linebacker and then playing at safety and then had playing back and forth, is like his frame honestly is a decent safety. And I would use him kind of way they use Cam Curl, was in the run support, covering that, either covering high, or if he's going to be on the run, be in that mid zone kind of linebacking spot.
Yeah, and he's taller. He's taller, so he should definitely be able to defend them tight ends much better than Cam was able to. That was one of the areas that he definitely struggled with. So
and there's safeties I like. Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota, I like. Keaton Oladapo out of Oregon State, Trey Taylor out of Air Force, Cameron Kitchens, Miami, 6'5". Need some work, but if you got a 6'5" safety back there,
that'd be crazy.
Imagine Ted Hendricks at safety.
That'd be
tall, lengthy, and got speed. I can get behind it real easy. Be around.
6'5". That's Hal Hamilton is what, like 6'3", right?
6'3", 6'4", yeah. And he's a dog. I wanted him in the 22 draft. 22 draft.
So Z's uncle, he coached us in high school football. We go to the games when I'm at all the time. He's always, when the draft comes up, I start saying like the year where we should have got I always mess his name.
The dude from the one,
whatever his name is.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah,
went to the Browns. Yep, second round pick.
So we have a new segment that says Reedie knows, because I always call it and these players pan out, and I'd be like, why did we get him? We were right there in position to get him. Why didn't we draft him? So Reedie knows.
Reedie knows.
And his first thing he was saying was Hal Hamilton was slow. Yeah. Then when the playoffs came around this year, I'm like, he's an all-pro. You said he was slow. I didn't say that.
He say that.
Backtrack.
He definitely said it.
Yeah.
Backtracking like this is a cover 3. Like, come on now.
But that would be awesome. But you guys aforementioned that we could take a linebacker. So I'm just curious, just in my thinking, well, I think we should go ahead in the draft. Like, where do you think that we're going to be able to get a linebacker? What round?
I would say either with the second round pick, if we don't trade back up in the first, you can do that with the second round pick, because you definitely need to go tackle as quick as possible after you get that quarterback. Or early in the third.
So you'd rather go linebacker before we go edge?
Yeah, I would.
I'm hearing it.
And what we know Jamin Davis can do and what Bobby Wagner can do, that's a priority.
And Anthony Pittman to a degree, because I think he plays good on special teams.
All of our current linebackers we just signed were on pretty short-term deals. We didn't sign any of them for very long, so we're going to need a young guy who we'll have for a bunch of years on a rookie contract.
I don't think about the second round. I think if you go quarterback at 2, if you trade up with 36 and maybe a 4th round pick back up to like 28, I go Jordan Morgan. That's just me. And then at 40, I would go corner at 40. TJ Tampa, Kyrie Jackson, Kamari Lassiter to a degree.
Jackson. I like Jackson. Yeah,
Kyrie 6'3", long speed. I like him a lot.
I would go edge, so I would go, if it was me and I was picking, I would go quarterback, obviously, with the first round, second round pick. I would go offensive tackle. If we come back up to the back end of the first round, I would take one of those tackles. And then I would either go corner or I would go edge.
To me, I think this is a really good edge class. As much as people want to say, after the first few guys, you can't do it. You have Jalen Hicks or Nix out of Houston Christian, ranked 86 true value by PFF. Really good. Someone that BIB and Adam Aniba, shout out to him. We did a prospect breakdown on Mohamed Kamara, Colorado State. Really like him out of there. You've got Gabriel Murphy, UCLA. Really liked him. Baptiste, something out of Notre Dame, late in the draft. Really like him. There's another dog that I was looking at later in the draft where we needed a late pickup, and I forget who it is. I'll flash on the screen when I think of it. But I think if at 67 we go linebacker, 78 we went tackle, and pick 100 we went with the Mohamed Kamara. I call it a good day. Because Kamara had like 10 sacks this past year for the Buffaloes.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think Chop Robinson is going to go?
First round.
Think so?
Fringe first round.
I was thinking early second.
Within that, I between 28 and 35, I think he goes, because I think the Niners could use him because they rented out Chase Young for a 3rd round pick, and we got Adam Peters out the deal if you really look at it. I think the Chiefs, as crazy as it sounds, and I don't think it's going to happen, they could use him across from George Karlaftis and Chris Jones. The Lions could use an edge rusher across from Aiden Hutchinson, whether it's Darius Robinson out of Mizzou or Chop Robinson, because that would be a Motor City guy, is Chop. And even someone like the Cardinals sitting at 34, if they don't go edge at 4 or at 27, prime spot to take him, Adiza Isaac, Darius Robinson, guys like that. If he falls past us at 40, I'm going to be real shocked and real confused.
Even if Chop isn't there with our 36 or wherever,
40.
Even if we trade up, Adiza Isaac would be there, and I feel like he could also fall in that range, probably a few picks after Chop, and would still be a really good option for us if we wanted to go edge there. I personally prioritize corner over edge right now. I feel like we addressed it a lot in free agency, and it's going to be a massive step up from last year, even where we're at right now. Corner, I just feel like we didn't address it enough in free agency and safety after, losing Curl.
Yeah, lost. And Fuller. Where did Fuller go? Was it Miami?
He went Miami, 2 years, $16 million deal, which is honestly a bag for his age.
Yeah.
Yep, it is.
Opposite side of Ramsey, that's gonna be nice.
For sure.
And no, because they lost Xavier Howard. Yeah, across from Ramsey, and because they got Javon and Holland at the I think free safety spot. Man, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
So it's basically looking like St. Jude's going to be a starter,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a lot of confidence in Emmanuel Forbes.
Forbes.
I do too. I feel like he's gonna take a big step up after last year. He'll be good for us, I think.
I hope so. I hope this is the season like Trayvon Diggs did his first 2 years was he was getting Burton B his first year, but that second year he took that step up and we were like, the fuck did you come from?
exactly.
He can
I
still
need him
get
to do
Burton
that.
beat a little bit today, though.
He can, but not
gets
not to the
picks,
not,
but-
not to the degree his rookie season was. Every
Correct.
time we played him, Trey.
100%.
I mean, Cam Sims dogging it. Come on now.
Yep.
But yeah, my top.
I
Go ahead.
definitely think Emmanuel Forbes has a higher ceiling that
Yeah.
we have some secondary guys kind of
Mhm.
calling the shots. I feel like they can scheme him a little bit more. I'm seeing more of a man corner in him than a zone corner. So he can kind of like read and react, and
Mhm.
go after those turnovers, which we actually brought him here for. And
Yeah.
I could care less if he
Those
can come
ball
up and
skills.
tackle in the run game or whatever.
Right.
He's not there for that. He's back there to
Mhm.
cause havoc, PBUs and get interceptions and
Deflections, all that.
just cause some
Yeah.
turnovers. That's what we need. Kind of like how Wilson was for them last year. What's his name? Wilson, the guy.
Donovan
Who
Will.
came in who came in for Trayvon Diggs?
Donovan
Bland?
Wilson. Oh, Deron Bland. Thank you.
Bland. Yeah, the one
Bland.
that had all the interceptions. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so
I think Quan's also going to be someone we're going to see starting this year as
Yeah.
well.
forgot about it.
Now
Yeah.
we've
I
lost
forgot.
a bunch of pieces, so
Yeah.
we're going to
I for-
play a different scheme this year, and I think it's going to fit him pretty well.
Yeah, he's gonna
Um,
get in that nickel.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, he's gonna
So we're
definitely
gonna be
support
playing
there.
that. So
So you're gonna still have Force, you're gonna have Chin, you got
Chin.
him, still got Percy.
Force coming off the injury, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so
right.
they'll definitely be in a mix.
Yeah, and you still got Jeremy Reeves to a degree.
Yeah, for sure.
Brought him back. As much as people are like he's a special teamer. He doesn't play the worst at safety. Definitely not the worst I've ever seen.
I've always
not-
felt like
he's not
whenever he
good.
stepped in, he did pretty much solid work.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He's not a starter, but he can definitely keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Makes
if we could draft a Kyle Hamilton of our own, a Sean T of our own, a Javon Hahn of our own, great, all for it. As long as we just don't get cooked every play, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I thought we could have I thought we could have made a little bit more noise on free agency. You got a Simmons out there. You got to kick the can on that. Like, I don't know what they're going to do
He's still out there.
post-draft. Post-draft, there might be some other free agent signings that come in or whatever once they're trying to fill the roster out.
Right.
But I thought they should have been a little bit more aggressive. I felt like we're lacking a true playmaker, that we need another playmaker. Like, we lost Curtis Samuel, so
Yeah.
I thought we should have thought to sign him. I'm a Curtis guy.
Yeah. I remember those
Johnny
talks.
Brown, he gives you nothing. So you basically got Jahan and you got
Terry.
and I don't know what at the tight end position. Ertz, I think he's done. I mean,
Yeah, on his way
he
out.
might get you 30 catches, if that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me is Terry, like put Jahan back in the slot where he was at Penn State to a degree, and where he was his rookie season. Terry got the one, obviously. Use Mitchell Tinsley. You signed him to the active roster for a reason. It was not just to flesh out the wide receiver room. I got support with him. They brought in Olumi Zacchaeus, which is a cool veteran for the wide receiver room, and you brought back Jamison Crowder, who's our punt kick returner. Unless they draft someone like a Jalen Polk, Hayden Hatton, a Johnny Wilson, a Javon Coker out of Holy Cross, Brendan Rice. I think because this wide receiver class is so deep, like if you were in the 4th round and you had a Brendan Rice, a Coker, a Javon Baker, a Johnny Wilson left, you'd be like, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, we're gonna have to really trust that the GM is going to GM. You know what I mean? He found guys like Ayuk and when he was out there, he found playmakers,
George Kittles.
the Kittles, yeah. So he's capable. I mean,
He is.
So
we just gonna have to.
Are we ready to say that we're going to go through another season with Wiley at right tackle? I mean, are we?
I think the problem. I think the biggest issue is that releasing him you're not gaining any leverage on the cap.
Yeah.
So you're taking a hit. So it's one of those things where it's like you stuck with him. Now, if somebody comes in camp and beat him, then he'll just be an overpaid reserve. But you're better off keeping him than cutting him because you're really in the hole by cutting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't know why.
suggesting
Yeah, I don't know
cut him,
why
but
I don't know why they even
I
signed him
just
to
feel
that
like
multi-year deal.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking maybe we might want to go offensive line for our second and our 2 second-round picks. Maybe not go somewhere else that we're thinking about going, like, getting
It's
somebody
possible.
else. Maybe we need to go that way. Like, I'm always big about getting weapons because I feel like the more
Right.
weapons you got, the
better
better
you
you're going
feel.
to be. Like, if you look at all of these top tier teams, they got 4, 5, 6 weapons.
Yeah.
And we only be having 1 or 2. Like, we shooting a water pistol, they're shooting a bazooka. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm trying to bring myself back and realize that we're not going to get it all done in this draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to need next year and the year after, whatever. Give them a 4 to 5 year plan to figure this thing out. So I'm trying to be patient with that, but
Right.
we kind of got to build it in the trenches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, we got the left guard, we got the center, we got our right guard. So we need a left tackle and a right tackle.
Right tackle. Yeah.
And I think we're going to be taking more than just one tackle this draft. If we're going to be taking tackle with our second pick, and I don't think we're going to use our second and third pick for it. I think we'll be taking one a little bit later, possibly 3rd, 4th, 5th round. But I think we'll definitely get a guy who will compete with Andrew Wiley and hopefully beat him out. Because I don't want to see Andrew Wiley starting this year. None of us do.
Did they bring back the other guy? What was his name?
Charles
Scott.
Leno? Trent Scott?
Scott, yeah.
I think
I didn't see his name like
no, I don't remember it.
fall off. I just see him in no free agent list.
It was another tackle. He was kind of like a swing tackle down the stretch. He was getting playing time. He kind of did good in the
Cornelius Lucas?
In the preseason.
No, it wasn't Lucas. It was Mason. Was it Mason? No, it wasn't Mason Brooks either.
No, Mason Brooks was a guard.
He was a tackle. I thought his name was Frank something. I could be wrong.
No.
Braden Daniels, we drafted last year and got injured, so he never played a snap. Stromberg played center and guard. Chris Paul.
Not Chris Paul. He was a kind of like a no-name guy. I never heard of him before.
I thought it was Scott.
That's Scott. Trent Scott.
It was.
I think
it was a Trent Scott or a Maurice something. What was the other dude?
Like Aaron Monteiro or something like that.
It might have been Trent Scott though.
Yeah, there's Trent Scott. Let me see what the 2023 depth chart look like real quick.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. There is someone that looked good down the stretch. I'm trying to think who it was. That's not our roster. An official depth chart. Let's see. At tackle.
I'm glad we're all on the site. So John, you're with us on the Jayden Daniels number.
Yeah. I'd go Jayden Daniels. I do think. Well, first of all, last episode we had Tim Sports Talk. Shout out to him, and he's full team Penix all the way. I was team Jayden. Chris was team Jayden. He was team Penix, but yeah, I would go Jayden Daniels. To reiterate what I said, based on the coaches he brought in. So Kingsbury, your QB coach, bringing Mariota, who was a mobile, good arm quarterback at Oregon. And I think when you bring in a Tyler Biadasz,
Mariota was a waste. Such a waste.
It's a waste, but I think just in general, the way who they brought in makes more sense to go Jayden Daniels or even a Penix than it does to go with a Bo Nix or a JJ or a Drake. Even though Jeff Driscoll's a pocket passer, he's depth, he's clipboard, he's coaching, he'll be third string, but he'll help coach obviously the rookie. But I do think it's Jayden Daniels, and especially with Cliff coaching up Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Kyler Murray, Johnny Manziel, Case Keenum, that list, mobile guys who have a decent arm, and 3 out of the 5 got better as their career progressed.
Yeah, I definitely think. My bad, Drew. I definitely think that Kingsbury backed out of that Raiders deal and hauled ass over here because we had the better pick to go get.
Mm-hmm.
a better quarterback.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Did you guys see Penix's letter to the NFL GMs? Did you guys take a look at that?
I missed it.
It came out today, so it's new. It was interesting. I read through most of it, and yeah, I mean, he seems like a real playmaker and a real guy who cares. He said that's like not the type of character you get from like Caleb Williams or some of these other dudes. I really think he's going to give whatever team he gets drafted to his all, and I think he is really gonna, do his best to be the best player he can for them. So I don't know. I'm still totally mixed on him, but I feel like if we trade back, get a crazy deal, for me, it almost might require like 3 first-rounders to go back to 13. Just because, I mean, the amounts that we're talking about right now is like the same would cost us to move up 1 to number 1 overall. And I don't like that difference there. So,
Yeah.
But it's sort of, he's grown on me. If we can get a good trade back package and take him, and even if he's not our guy, look at quarterbacks next year after that, free agency, but help build up this team and support whoever we draft.
But it would,
oh, go ahead. I just feel like it could be an interesting option that we need to, take a look at. So that's it.
Yeah, I feel like so I agree with you 100%. If we can get a haul like that, it wouldn't matter because we can go get another receiver. We can get a tight end. We still fill our needs at offensive line and still come back next year and maybe get the quarterback that we want or whomever, I know they said Shador's coming out. I'm not sold on him, but they say he's coming out next year. So we'll see.
Hey, if we go tight end, it better be Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State. Y'all hear him? Peters, Quinn, you hear me? Ben Sinnott, pick 100. You better fucking take this, man. This man can block. He can catch. He can block. Goddamn right. He can block. He can catch. He looks good doing it. I don't know what else to tell you.
And you got him.
So many
what
options
round?
available.
What round he projected?
I think probably late, early third, early fourth. So I'd take him if he falls to 100. Take him because he does what Cole Turner and John Bates were supposed to do, but is in one player. Let him sit behind Zach Ertz, who we call him washed. He's got stories to tell and experience to give players. So I mean, I think Ben Sinn's at 6'4", 6'5", ran a good 40. Got good hands. We need like Reedie was saying, playmaker. Go get you a playmaker.
I don't want to bust your bubble, John, but I don't think we have that 100 pick. I think they're going to sell it.
Probably.
I don't think we're going to sit around and wait for that pick.
Probably.
I think they're probably what Z said all along that they're probably going to come to the back of the first round and pick that tackle there. And so I'm thinking one of those third round picks and one of those second round picks is going to be gone.
Yeah.
And probably that we don't have a fourth, we have a fifth, right?
We have 2 fifths and 2 sevenths.
Yeah, so I don't think I don't really care about them fifth or them seventh round picks because the odds of you getting a gem there is slim. You might can get a guy, maybe a special teamer, but somebody that's going to change your program. We need guys that's going to change the program.
Yeah.
I'm tired of watching the same program, and I need to change.
We do need change. I agree. I think if someone really good, like a Jordan Morgan or Marius Mims, that type of player falls to 28, 29, I'd trade up. But if they start falling and teams start passing and they get to 33, I could call New England and be like, hey, I'll give you 36 and like a fifth this year and a fourth next year because it's not going to take a whole bunch.
I was going to say this. I think this draft, it reminds me of Baker Mayfield's draft.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody
17 draft.
did not think he was going to be the number 1 pick. I forget who was supposed to be the number 1 pick that year. Was it Rosen that year?
Yeah, Josh Rosen.
And
it was
no. That was a 17th draft.
That was Daniel Jones. That was Daniel
Josh
Jones,
Allen.
Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield.
No, I think
Barkley.
I thought that was the Josh Rosen because he went to 10 to Arizona. Because it went Baker, it went Saquon. I forget who was 3. Denzel Ward at 4.
Daniel Jones went 3rd.
Daniel Jones went 3rd to the What am I?
It was somebody else that was projected the first pick, and then out of nowhere they was projecting Kuiper and your guy, what's his name? The one that used to be the GM for the Raiders. Mike Mayock.
Mayock.
He was. They were saying that it was going to be another guy at one, and then Baker came out of nowhere. We was like,
yeah, it was Rosen.
I knew Baker was a good college quarterback, but I didn't expect him to go number one in the draft. He went number one, and everybody was kind of thrown off by that.
Yeah, it was Rosen. So Baker went one. So this is the 2018 NFL draft. My apologies. So when Baker won, Saquon 2, Sam Darnold 3, Denzel Ward 4, Bradley Chubb 5, Quentin Nelson 6, Allen 7, Roquan at 8, Mike McGlinchey at 9, and then Josh Rosen at 10 to the Cardinals. Because
tackle, right?
Quentin Nelson, Mike McGlinchey offensive tackle to the Niners, and Quentin Nelson guard. Yeah, because Daniel Jones was the 19 draft with Haskins.
Yeah, so it was definitely Darnold. It was
Sam
that New
Darnold.
York team. I remember that.
Because
I thought Donald was supposed to go one. That's what it was. Donald was supposed to go one.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
And then the Browns had the back-to-back picks.
And
they got scared and they jumped up and got Baker. I'm like, why the hell did y'all do that? Y'all could have stayed put and got Saquon and Baker.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
I mean, Denzel Ward worked out, so you can't say it didn't work out all that much. They got Denzel Ward out of it.
Yeah. Do you think what did you think about this Newsom trade?
Greg Newsom?
Yeah, it's been it's been itty bitty sprinkles throughout the off season. And I was thinking it may pick up closer to the draft. I think
there will be a few players that are going to be attempted to trade. So Patrick Surtain, I think from the Broncos could get traded. I think we'd be in the mix because him being our QB or CB1, I'd feel much better about that than Forbes being CB1. Greg Newsom, I think, is going to cost less than Surtain, but it's going to cost at least a second, I think, because of how young and how expensive he's going to be. The corner market is not cheap.
I'd give her 40.
I would do 40 if they gave us like a fourth and Greg Newsom, just to let us play mix and match.
Yeah.
I think Ayuk could get traded to where I don't know. If we take Jayden Daniels, we'd look more and more plausible to take Brandon Ayuk.
I think we can get a second or a third, give up a second or a third or something like that.
I think it'd be a second and a third for Ayuk because we'd have to pay him too.
Both, yeah.
Because even with his last year on his rookie deal, it's not a cheap fifth-year option either. It's like a 17.35 fifth-year option, so it's not cheap. Would him, Jahan, and Terry make me feel better sleeping at night? Absolutely, but it's going to be expensive. I think if someone was saying Greg Newsom or Patrick Surtain for a third-round pick, I'd take Newsom only because he won't cost as much as a Surtain would. Because Surtain was just taken in the 21 draft versus Newsom, I think, was the 20 draft. No, I think Newsom was taken the 22 draft. I could be wrong. I'll put up the edit when I go up. But I think based on where people rank them and saying, Surtain's this next level corner one future like sauce, is Newsom's going to fall under the radar. And if he got swapped for what Justin Fields was a conditional fourth, could turn into a third or second, I'd be good with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be just so happy
that's a trade I've been waiting for to happen. Like once I seen it pop up, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of called Reedie. I'm like, Newsom, I heard his name, but what you know about him? He's like, oh no, he's nice. And I looked into it. He's nice good. For sure. And
he's good.
I guess they just get rid of him because they got so many guys they got to try to pay on that defense. But we'll definitely take him.
I'd take him. I think it helps having Denzel at his one, him being the two. I think it helps being that 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
But they also got Martin Emerson last year or 22 draft, who I think is actually a good corner for them, good rotation piece. And if he steps up, great for them. But if they said, hey, if he gave us a fourth and you take on his contract, or if you give us a third and take on the contract, we give you him in a fifth. I'd go for it with a heartbeat. But if they said a second and a fourth, I'd be like, ooh, it's a bit. At that price, I'd go get Surtain.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've dubbed this offseason, and before I let you guys go, I've dubbed this offseason the smoke screen central because I've not seen so many rumors, draft pick stocks. Like there was the 2019 draft. We were like, we're gonna go quarterback ish. We don't know who we're gonna take. I haven't seen this since like that 2012 draft where we took RG3 because it was RG3, it was Luck. I think it was Russell. Like within those first three spots, people are like, who are they gonna take? I haven't seen this much hype in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Tannehill drive too, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they said Shanahan loved Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Anyway,
Tannehill went like 10 or 12 or something that year.
to Miami, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now before we get into this mock draft, Phil, let's can't thank you on for coming on and spending some quality time with us right before we get into this NFL draft.
100%.
Sure, no problem.
Appreciate you, man.
Definitely thank you for having us. Always a pleasure.
Always.
Yeah, hell to them. Let's get this draft going and get these quality picks. See
Yeah.
some real GMing and see how we go from there. No more Ron selecting random guys.
No more Martin Mayhew fits. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Guys, before we get into our prediction draft, don't forget to like and subscribe, not only here on the video, but over to @Reedie and Z across all social media sites. Go give them a follow and go give their personal channels a follow or their personal accounts a follow on Instagram. All links down in the description. If you want a quality hoodie like the one Z is wearing right now, @GRA Clothing Line on Instagram. I might have to get me that win-loss or draw hoodie once this check hits and once I buy me some food. Because like I said earlier, I'm broke as a son bitch. So go support them. If y'all want quality merch and quality content, go give them a follow. They've been nothing but kind and blessed to us, and hope we have been kind in return.
All love, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. And let's stay tuned for this draft.
All right, hell to him.
Hell to him,
guys. See ya.
All right.
All righty. Like I said, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and go give them a follow. But Andrew, are you ready for our prediction draft?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Ready as you ever be? I like to hear those. So, guys, we're going to do what we did last year. We're going to do our 32 team NFL prediction draft. Let me get this screen up. Before I get into that, if you guys were curious about the clothing line, here it is @GR8 Clothing Line. This is the win, loss, or draw collab between the two of them and his clothing line. This is an absolute beauty. $50. I might have to go buy me one later this year, but let's get into the draft. First round. Do you want to take number one or should I take number one?
Either way, up to you.
I'll do odds. So I'll do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You can do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Sounds good.
One round. Do you want to do trades?
Yeah. Make it a little more spicy. Sure.
Make it more spicy. All right, let's get into it. Let's start the draft. So number one overall, no questions here. Jayden, no, I'm kidding. Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. My friend, who do you have for the Washington Commanders?
Well, since Caleb miraculously didn't fall to us, surprise, surprise, I'm going to go with who I've been saying this whole time. Just kidding. I have not been saying it this whole time. I've been very mixed. But I'm going with my current favorite and Jayden Daniels.
Jayden Daniels. Number right there. New England Patriots. I do think they are going to stay at this pick, unless Minnesota, which I could trade back with myself, give myself a little playing room, but that just sounds weird. But I'm going to stick here at 3 with the New England Patriots. They're also going to go quarterback. I'm going to go with Drake Maye as a Patriot. As a Patriot. Number 4, my friend.
I like it. I'm going to go basic here. I feel like Cardinals, they're not going to be targeting quarterback here, so they're going to go with their boy Marvin Harrison.
Harrison Jr.
The Ohio State.
That's a great pick. Number 5. This is where I think a trade will happen between 3 and 4. But I think they will sit here. But I'm going to trade back with
I wasn't thinking about a trade.
The Minnesota Vikings. I do think Harbaugh needs a lot of work on this team. And I do think that they have their quarterback secured. Now, could they go Joe Alt? Absolutely. But I'm going to give 123, 23 for 5. And I'm also going to do a 3rd round next year. And yes, I'm going to do force a trade, but it's not fair. I'm GM, damn it. All right. So they gave up a 2 firsts and a third to go from 11 to 5. Could it be more? Yes. Is it? No. So at pick 5, the Minnesota Vikings do what they were bound to do, take a quarterback and go J, Jonah Jameson, McCarthy. Number 6, New York Giants, our division rivals.
Well, since Drake Maye is still here at 6 overall.
No, he's not. I had New England take him.
You took him at 3. My bad. I totally missed that. What are they going to do then? That's interesting.
They need a few things.
They do.
Need a lot.
Quite a few things. I could see a trade back here.
Okay.
I think, gosh, we've got all the big quarterbacks off the board. So I don't think anyone's going to be jumping up to take a quarterback, which is what all the trades have been. Ultimately, gosh, I'm not sure here. This is kind of hard. I feel like they might have to take Malik. I don't see him falling much further, actually.
Malik Neighbors.
I'm going to have him take Malik.
I like that.
And they'll grab a quarterback later in the draft.
Late in the draft. Like I think you go Michael Penix Jr. if he falls the second round. Tennessee Titans. I think this one, if you're a betting man and your betting odds were Joe Alt minus 100, you make your money out of 100,000 times. They go Joe Alt, they go offensive tackle, secure the line, get Will Levis a little bit of playing room. Number 8.
I'm right there with you. Well, I feel like either edge or cornerback are possibilities right here. They don't really need tight end. I feel like they're pretty good on that.
They win like all offense in the offseason.
I might have them take.
Okay. Here's the edge class, since everyone says edge is a lock for the Falcons.
I feel like it's probable. I don't know if it's a lock. I feel like Nate Wiggins could also be in the conversation. I'm still going to end up taking Latu right here.
Latu.
I think Wiggins will go soon, though.
Okay. So everyone says Dallas Turner. You go Latu, my friend. I like that.
Edge.
I like that. I'm going to go with the second trade. I think Chicago moves back with someone like the Indianapolis Colts, because I think they need a playmaker and the Bears need more draft picks. So I'm going to go with 82 and 117 and a 4th and next year to go from 15 to 9. And that was traded, obviously. So they now get some late draft picks to help them out. So number 9 for the Colts, I think they go Brock Bowers to go pair with Anthony Richardson, the SEC connection. That goes in front of the Jets, who could use him.
For sure. Well, Rome Odunze is still on the board at number 10.
Is.
However, I feel like they are going to prioritize tackle here more. So I feel like I like Olu. I feel like PFF has him pretty underrated. And I'm sort of between him and Talise. I'm going to take Talise over Olu, but I feel like these two players are going to be back-to-back. Or not back-to-back, but pretty close together. So
yeah. If I'm Jim Harbaugh, the draft fell exactly how I wanted it to fall. Go get me Rome Odunze to give Justin Jefferson his new wide receiver 1. You heard me. Wide receiver 1, Rome Odunze. But you said they're at 12 for the Denver Broncos. They got a lot on their mind.
I don't think they do once they get to 12 with Mr. Michael Penix still on the board. I feel like Sean Payton has made up his mind.
Really?
His future quarterback with Michael Penix Jr.
Okay.
This is the range I see him going.
I did not have that on my board. I had them going Bo Nix.
Bo Nix over Michael?
Bo Nix over Michael, because if you look at the size and how Bo plays, he plays like a Sean Payton, or he plays like a Drew Brees.
Yeah, someone Sean might like.
Oh,
I personally like Penix over him. I've looked at
okay.
both, and I don't hate Bo Nix, but I also don't love him. I don't feel like he
All
is
right.
as high of a potential.
And
So
chill.
that's why I'm going Michael.
Fair. If I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm absolutely shitting bricks over that draft pick because I needed that badly for us. There's a few things I could go. I'm gonna go cornerback here because I think I could trade back up for Bo Nix later, and I'm gonna take Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo to go pair up with Nate Hobbs and the crew on that defense.
100%. Who did you have the Bears take? Oh wait, we had a trade.
We had a
back,
draft.
Right?
Yep.
Trade back. I gotcha. Well, we got Cooper. We got Byron Murphy. I don't think Byron's gonna go that early. I think Arnold is a sleeper. I feel like he could go higher than
He's
PFF
good.
has him. Nate Wiggins is still here, right?
He is. Dude does the Saints need to go corner?
Oh, we're on the Saints. I was looking at the Bears.
Oh no. I'm the Bears.
looking at the
You're the Saints, my friend.
I'm the Saints. My bad. So Saints then. I feel like this is where we could see Olu going. I don't feel like he's going to fall much further.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much his bottom range. So I feel like I'm going to go Olu here.
Olu Fashanu. Actually, I take it back. It's Olu Fashanu to Penn State. The Chicago Bears here at 15, they traded back, got some extra draft capital. I could go Brian Thomas here. I don't think they need wide receiver help, yes, but I'm actually going to go edge. And since you took Liatu Latu at 8, I am gladly going to take Dallas Turner at 15. Your regional Seattle Seahawks here at 16.
I think living in Seattle and having talked with a lot of Seahawks fans, they're hoping Michael Penix is going to be here at 16, but those Broncos had to take him earlier, so they're gonna have to deal with someone else, I guess. Let's see. I feel like they have a lot of options they could have here.
They could.
I could see a trade back. In fact, I might actually have them trade back with the Raiders. And I feel like the Raiders could come up and grab Bo Nix.
Really? See, you're going to have the Raiders come all the way from...
How far back are they?
Their next pick is until 44.
Oh, wow.
I think someone who could trade up... I think someone who could trade up is Philly. They really want a corner.
Ooh, the Eagles.
And they got capital.
True.
They got capital.
That is very true. Yeah, because they just lost what's his name?
They lost who they just lose? I forget, but they need secondary bad.
Totally. So I agree with that actually. So let's have them trade up, and then we'll have them take Nate Wiggins.
They're gonna force a trade. Have the Philadelphia Eagles go Nate Wiggins.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I like that fit a lot actually.
That's gonna work out well for him.
Yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's good. Jacksonville Jaguars here at 17. They could do a few things. But I think losing Calvin Ridley, you still have Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis, but I think you need another playmaker. But if I'm sitting here and Cooper DeJean is still on the board, I don't think you can pass him up or Terry and Arnold, but I'm going to go to Cooper DeJean to the Jaguars.
Yep, that's a great pick for them. He fell pretty far. Bengals here. I feel like they could also be trade back candidate. However, I'm going to have them take Newton because I feel like he's not going to fall quite this far. I feel like he could maybe even go a little bit earlier than right here. So this is probably a pretty good spot for him.
Okay.
It's a nice fit with the Bengals. So
I didn't have them taking Johnny Newton at all. Rams, they need a few things. I do think they're going to pair Byron Young with a nice young piece in Byron Murphy, especially at the Aaron Donald retirement. He is not a replacement. He's a next man up. So Byron Murphy out of Texas goes to the Los Angeles Rams. Back-to-back defensive interior.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. Here with the Steelers.
I don't feel like they're going to pass up on Arnold at 20. He's not
Really?
expected to be here. Yep.
You're gonna
I
go
feel like they
Terry.
got
You're
a
gonna go
chance.
Terry and Arnold.
I think so.
All
He's
righty.
fallen too far.
He has. I didn't think you'd go there, but I like that. Miami Dolphins here at 21. They need interior badly. I'm gonna go with the highest ranked center on the board in Jackson Powers Johnson, who can also play guard,
Yep.
which is also something that the Seattle Seahawks need is guard.
I've heard a lot of Seahawks fans wanting him at 22. So absolutely. Oh wait, no, they traded.
You traded back.
They had 16, right?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. I keep getting that mixed up. Well, the Seattle Seahawks, I could see them going either Jared Verse or Troy Fautanu.
Troy
and having
Fautanu.
him be
Be that guard.
tackle type player.
Yep. What do you think?
I'm
What do you think?
gonna-
Go more of.
Wait, what did they go?
'Cause
Was it a trade back earlier?
You traded back.
That's right. Let's have them take Jared Verse.
Okay.
It's a good pick for him.
That is nice. Los Angeles Chargers, we traded back with the Minnesota Vikings. We got Roma Dunze, wide receiver, and we sit here with a lot of options left on the board. I'm going to go look at corner. Kool-Aid's there. Mike Sandersill's there. I'm not the biggest fan of either of them this high. We already went wide receiver. No one on the interior looks great. So I'm going to secure the other tackle position and go J.C. Latham out of
Ooh,
Bama.
Nice. That's nice. Well, now
Another
that
di-
we've got.
You have all the
tackles
division
going
rivals. You
on,
have Philly, Giants, and Cowboys.
We do.
And they lost a lot.
They did. They need a lot of help this year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them either being a trade back candidate or
Hmm.
I could see them being a little bit dangerous
Mhm.
and going with a weapon here, like Mitchell or Thomas, which would scare me.
It would.
I don't want that to happen. Or they could be taking Mims here.
Armarius Sims, big boy, 6'8".
He needs some work with the technique, but he's
Mhm.
got a high ceiling. He's got a lot of potential.
He
No,
does.
Yeah, let's have him take Mims here. I feel like that's a
Armarius
good spot for him. Yeah.
Armarius Mims at 24. Green Bay Packers at 25. Cooper DeJean was taken early, and that's someone I was hoping would fall to 25, but I did not do that. So I'm actually going to go with linebacker,
Ooh, okay.
and I'm going to go with Peyton Wilson.
Over Cooper. All right.
Well, Cooper DeJean was already taken, my friend. Now, if I
Right.
want
Eridge and Cooper, the linebacker.
Edge and Cooper, yeah. Now, I could go Tyler Newbin, the safety, who I think is an absolute. Actually, yeah, I take that back. I'm going to go Tyler Newbin, safety. Go give them some versatility at the safety position, especially if you don't know what
good.
Jair is going to do or anything like that. Let's go with
Mhm.
him.
All right. I've been saving it, and now we're going to do it. The Washington Commanders are trading up with the Buccaneers to 26, and they're going to
Okay.
take my boy Jordan Morgan out of the University of Arizona.
Okay.
We're doing it. We're trading up.
So it's going to cost 36. I think it's going to cost 78.
Mhm.
And I think 152 for 26 and 220. That's a second, a third, and a fifth for a first and a sixth. So you're going to go Jordan Morgan at
We're
26.
paying that price, and we're taking Jordan Morgan.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals. You went Marvin Harrison Jr. there. I'm going to go with someone who can play guard, and you have let me just fall down the board. It's Troy Fautanu at right there. That is uber steal territory.
All right, there is no way I see the Bills passing on wide receiver here.
Nope.
There's zero option of any other chance. They're going with Brian Thomas Jr. I have him over Mitchell. And he's gonna be that key piece for Josh Allen after losing Stephon Diggs.
I like that. Detroit Lions, I could go a few things here. I'm gonna go edge rusher with them. And someone we talked about earlier in Chop Robinson, talked about with Reedie and Z, go follow them. And shout out to them for coming on. We're gonna go Chop Robinson.
I like it. Yeah, I could see him going there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders.
You mean the Ravens?
Yeah, sorry, Ravens. Let's see.
There's a few options.
I could see them bolstering up their defense here.
Okay.
I feel like they could go. They don't need linebacker. They don't really need defensive line. I could see them going. Who's their safety right now?
Kyle Hamilton.
Oh, that's right. They don't need safety. So let's have them go cornerback.
Okay.
And I like Kool-Aid here. I don't think he's going to get much farther than this. So
okay,
good fit in that Baltimore defense.
I like that. San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to keep this real simple. I'm going to go Graham Barton, who I think can play guard at the next level. And if he needed to, he could fill in tackle just fine.
That's nice. And then I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to have his Tyreek Hill replacement in Mitchell.
And A.D. Well, if that was the case, you'd pick Xavier Worthy because he ran.
I don't think Xavier Worthy is going to go that high, though. I feel like A.D. Mitchell is going to be in front of him.
Fair enough.
A little bit of a reach for me.
Fair enough. We go A.D. Mitchell. So let's review. I don't care about the award. I know it's great. Just be quiet. So pretty standard top 4, top 5. Neighbors, Joe Walt, Liatu Latu was the first big surprise. Then the trade, Telly's Fuaga, Roma Dunze, Michael Penix. So back-to-back Washington. Yep. Quinion, Olu, Dallas Turner to fall, Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, Dejon Newton, Byron Murphy, Arnold, JPJ, Jared Verse falling. Latham, so a run on tackles. Latham, Mims, not Tyler Newman at safety, Jordan Morgan, Troy Fatanu will play guard. And then BTJ, Chop, Kool-Aid, Graham Barton, and A.D. Mitchell. Let's save this. I like it. We'll come back to this once round 1 is over with on Thursday night. But let's wrap things up again. Shout out to Reedie and Z for coming on. If you guys want to go support them, all links down in the description. Chris had to leave early. I didn't talk about that, but Chris had to leave early, family emergency. So I hope everything's okay with him. But yeah, 48 hours from the NFL draft, smokescreen central, as I put it. It's going to be a ride. If you guys want to tune in for that ride, Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, or 7 o'clock Mountain Time or Central Time for those in the Midwest. First round live. We might have, if you guys want to join the live stream, I'll post a link, and we're gonna have a fun time. Andrew, you ready?
I'm ready. Ultimately, I think it's going to be whoever we draft. The most important thing is going to be how we set them up for success. So this draft is how we're going to do it. We've gone through most of free agency. And I'm excited to see what Adam Peters is about to cook up.
Oh, it's going to be hot and spicy in the kitchen. But guys, drop things up. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on the channel here on BIB. Don't subscribe, hit the notification bell, turn on post notifications every time that we upload. Instagram, YouTube, and Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All up here. Links down in the description. Shout out to Rio, Tony, Corey, and Washington Daily for being sponsored since day one. Shout out to Reedie and Z once again for coming on, having a great time with them. Great talk. And we gave our 32-team round 1 prediction. Some trades, some surprise picks. Hopefully we do better than last year, because last year we won like 4 for 32, and it was not a good look. Let's go into Thursday. Have a damn good time. If you guys have any comments, any hot takes, let us know down in the comments. And who do you think we're going to take a number 2 overall? Let us know down below. Handle those Commanders, and don't forget to stay ballin'. We'll see y'all out there.